Hi, I'm Caroline and I purchased some CBD gummies from Cannaray via Amazon about a month ago. I purchased them to help me sleep and to help me cope with the stress that I'm under. Did my research and made sure that they were THC-free. It says this on their website, says this obviously on the packaging, and it said this assurance was provided in the Amazon listing as well. So I felt reassured by that. Obviously, they're endorsed by a high-profile celebrity, Claudia Winkleman. I was asked to participate in a routine random drugs test the other day at work. Obviously didn't think I was going to fail. Unfortunately, when the gentleman who did the test looked at my sample, he said, "Do you smoke cannabis?" Of course I don't, but explained that I've been taking these gummies that were claiming to be THC free, so of course I failed my test, and I've been suspended from work, and yeah, my career is on the line basically. I was pulled into a room with HR, and they just explained that unfortunately we are going to have to suspend you pending investigation. So I'm still waiting to hear back, so I'm just kind of hanging on to see if there's going to be any good news. I have to make my case, I have to defend myself obviously as part of the investigation. I was told that I could go back to my desk, but I would have to be escorted, which would be humiliating. So I asked my work friend if she could bring the items to me. I was told I'm not allowed to speak to anybody from work. And then I had to leave. Obviously I had to leave the premises. And I'm just waiting basically just to see if, I feel like my world's been turned upside down, but just whether my career that I've worked so hard to get and to maintain is over basically. This is just not, it's horrendous. I think it's horrendous for anybody, but given the profession that I work in as well, I work in the legal field, so I work as regulatory affairs manager, so I'm reading legislation and preaching legislation and ensuring compliance on a day-to-day, and then I'm testing positive in a drugs test. It's just the humiliation of it. So I'm praying that I get to go back to work, but then I think even if I do go back to work, the humiliation of this is going to be quite severe. Obviously I'm not sleeping, I'm struggling to eat, and I have to function, so I'm trying to dissociate from the trauma of it because I have a little girl, but obviously it's hard to escape the fact that I'm a single mom. I've been my daughter's sole provider pretty much for a year and a half, for the most part of a year and a half. So if I can't provide for my daughter, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trying not to think too much about that because it feels like I'm in a nightmare. So I'm just trying to pretend it's not happening really. But yeah, the physical symptoms, like my hands feel tingly all the time. When I talk about it, I'm getting upset. So as I say, I'm just trying to detach from it because I can't really process the reality. If I lose my job and I have to look for another job, I assume I will have to raise this. I would have to uproot my little girl from school, from all her friends, from her little social clubs. Yeah, that's where I'm at with the situation. I will never have these ever again, and if anybody was to ever think about having these, I would just beg them not to do it. If you have anything to lose, if you have a job, if you have a license, if you have a child, if you're in the family courts, God forbid, don't have these products because you could potentially have your child taken away from you. Yeah, please, I would just beg anybody to just don't take them. It's just not worth the risk.